god. Oh my god. You ever just take a second to say to yourself, how did I get here?
Yes, actually.
Oh god. Can we talk about the game awards real quick?
Sure.
Why is Control anywhere?
That's an amazing question. I
Like,
haven't played it yet. Have you? Is it on Game Pass? I think it is.
it might be on Game Pass now. See, right off the bat, I mean, I guess it's hard to judge a game you haven't played, but like, it doesn't strike me as Game of the Year material.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And some other grievances. Death Stranding shouldn't be anywhere.
Oh, come on. You knew that was going to be
I
in
know,
every
because
fucking category.
specifically because Jeff Keighley fucking loves the man.
Yeah, that screams bias, doesn't it?
You think? If it wins Game of the Year, I don't know what I'm gonna do because, well, first of all, Control and Death Stranding shouldn't be up there.
I would prefer Control winning Game of the Year over Death Stranding.
Of course.
Like, it's so new. How do you fucking even...
There's a certain cutoff. Like, I think for you to hit the cutoff, you need to come out in December.
Oh, really?
Because Smash came out the day the Game Awards were happening, and it's
Interesting.
It's on this year as a contender for Game of the Year. Resident Evil 2 is pretty good. There's a fucking... Which game? I gotta look at the... I stopped looking at the nominees at a certain point because it was upsetting to me. But,
Game Awards, I will stand by this until the day that I fucking die. The year that Sam Jackson did not host was the year it started falling off.
I don't know, man. I feel like the low point was Zachary Levi hosting. Remember that year? Very embarrassing. They made a diaper joke.
But no, that's what I mean. Like you validated my point.
No. But after that's when Jeff Keighley took full control, and it started to be on the upswing again.
So then, when did it drop off again? When Zach Levi took over, hosted?
No, that was the lowest point.
Yeah, but wasn't Jeff Keighley involved then?
Well, yeah, but he was just sitting there looking miserable the whole time. I don't know, Did you know that the swing between jury votes and mass voting is 90-10?
What?
Votes only count for 10% of the results, and then the rest of it's chosen by a jury, which is when Death Stranding wins Game of the Year. That's when you're going to realize why
you know it's going to win, right?
I really don't want it to.
That.
I mean,
I don't want it to either, but like, I don't see how it doesn't win. Like, what are the? Do you have the full list of nominees in front of you by any chance?
No, but I can look it up because I'm doing shit this match. Holy fuck. Okay, nominees for Game of the Year: Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, The Outer Worlds, and that's it.
I would feel comfortable, and I would feel like Resident Evil 2 would deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, these are terrible decisions. There were a lot of good games that came out this year, and I don't know why The Outer Worlds is on there. I don't know why Death Stranding is on there, and I don't know why Control is on there. Like, I don't know.
The world sucks Kojima's dick.
Yeah.
So that's a thing.
Like, I don't know if Modern Warfare should be on Game of the Year material list, but but I'm just saying I don't know if it's on any of these.
Like, even best sound design, nothing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's the first thing because I know it's not on there, or maybe it is. Maybe that's the only thing that's hold on. Okay, I got bopped. Let's just move on. Action game, and this is where like, this is where, like, the lines start to blur a little.
Yeah.
Apex Legends.
Ugh.
Astral Chain, which is very fun. Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
For action game of the year?
Yeah.
As much as I would want it to win because I love this game as much as I do.
It's not an action
for nostalgia
game.
It's not. It's a shooter.
Which leads me to my next point, the one that should win, Devil May Cry 5.
Yes. That's like the... Yeah. Just yes.
After that, we have Gears 5 and Metro Exodus. Like, I don't get it. I feel like there were enough shooters...
Metro Exodus isn't an action game.
I feel like there were enough shooters that came out this year where you could make a shooter category.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Like, I don't get why they whatever. Action adventure game. And this is where it gets real fucking weird. Borderlands 3.
No. Just no.
Control, again. Death Stranding. Resident Evil 2. Legend of Zelda. Link's Awakening.
Death Stranding is an action game?
It's barely a game. Moving on. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Sekiro should probably.
Yeah, but that... Yeah, no, I agree. Art Direction. Control. Death Stranding.
Okay, you know what? Hold on. Fucking read the list first, then I'll say what I was going to say.
Grease, which... Or
what?
Gris. It's some indie game.
Grizz.
Yeah. What?
Griz.
Yes. No, Gris.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's Gris or Grease. Grease the musical. Sayonara Wild Hearts, which I've never heard of. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I would agree with Control being on the list of nominees.
For what?
Just
this specifically?
Art direction.
Art direction? Okay.
Yeah, that specific, like that. I get that. Like that. Like okay. I've seen what the game looks like. It honestly, it looks beautiful. You know.
I get you.
Yeah.
See,
but, from what I understand, the story was not that great. The gameplay was good, but that's because it's Remedy.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't mean it's fucking game of the year, like best anything.
Yeah.
Except for maybe art direction. Like okay, I understand that.
See, here's the thing too. Like the line kind of blurs when you talk about art direction. You have to split it up between graphics and style, you know. And I feel like the nominees for this category are like it's two ideologies fighting it out between art style and just raw graphical power. You know.
Yeah.
Did you grab another beer?
Yeah, maybe. Why?
I heard it.
The fridge open.
I heard a lot of slamming and shit. There felt like a lot of defeatism in you grabbing that beer.
No.
With that,
the fridge and I grabbed it. It wasn't
okay.
like
It's okay. We'll talk about this later when you feel more comfortable talking about it.
My rampant alcoholism.
Oh, I knew you were an alcoholic, but I was talking about your stress. All right. Next up, action.
Okay.
Oh no, wait, I did this already. I did that one. Okay. This is the one that should be open and shut, pretty much. Audio design.
Okay.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Done. That's
Do
it.
I need to say anything else?
No, you don't.
Take a wild guess. Control and Death Stranding are also on here.
Christ, is Smash on there too?
No, Smash is not on there. It's also Gears 5, Resident Evil 2, and Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. The only game that holds a candle is probably Resident Evil 2.
Wars is so fucking one-dimensional. It's crazy.
It's weird because there was a lot of good games that came out this year. A lot. And a lot of games that even if I wasn't personally excited for.
You're probably more in tune with that than I am because there's only so many games that popped up on my radar this year.
Okay, so I'm going to list out, there's 4 in particular that stand out to me that should have been mentioned in at least one of these categories, and I flipped through them real quick, and I'm pretty sure they're not in any of them.
Okay.
Ace Combat 7.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah, I agree. I know how good that game was.
Yep. Fire Emblem Three Houses is not on here anywhere.
I know how good that game was as well.
Shenmue 3, which at the very least should be mentioned somewhere. It was part of like the big 3 games that were never going to happen ever.
Okay.
That should be on here somewhere. I don't know. I just feel like, given the categories, it should be on here somewhere. And then there was another one that I can't think of. Okay. But yeah, so audio design, this game that we're playing right now should probably get it. It's okay.
It's just that good. Like,
it
setting
is.
aside the fact that it's mainstream and that community, like this game's audio design is just that fucking good.
Yeah. It's very, very good.
I don't.
Okay. So we're about to skip a lot of it, but the last category before we skip all of it, and I'll explain why when we get to it, is community support. And this is something you might have some interest in. So community support, it's defined as recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness. Right?
As in, like, the community supporting the game?
See, that's where it gets a little bit confusing. I think it's the support of the community and the reception of the community. I think that's what they're really going to judge it on. But it's a very...
Oh, okay.
They don't make it very clear.
All right, fair enough.
First, Apex Legends. Here's what I have to say.
Well,
here's what I can't speak to it either, but here's what I have to say. The fact that people are questioning whether the game should even exist in lieu of a Titanfall 3 kind of speaks volumes. And as far as I'm aware, people were not very thrilled with things like the cosmetic deal. I don't want to judge it too harshly. It's a sour spot for both of us.
Yeah, well, hold on. Respawn said that it wasn't EA's idea at all. I call bullshit on that, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't...
I think it was something to compete with Fortnite, like, fucking obviously.
Yeah. That should have killed you. You should be dead.
100%, yeah.
My eyes were honestly glued to the minimap. I thought that was gonna... I thought you were dead. Alright. Destiny 2.
Okay, hold on. Before we move on.
Because that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, it's not that... Okay. My bias is less than than it would have been like 2 or 3 months ago. Okay, does that make sense?
What do you mean by that?
I haven't been playing it a whole lot because this game came out.
Okay.
Okay, so 1 month ago, let's say.
Okay, well, to be completely fair, you are talking about, like, earlier, you're just like, well, I'm going to be playing the Destiny raid. You're still invested in the game.
Yes, and okay, moving on to point number 2, on the grounds of Destiny, and hear me out with an open mind here.
Okay.
How many games can say this about itself? They signed a 10-year fucking deal with Activision. They did what Activision wanted them to do. Nobody in the community liked it. Like, literally no. Like, any hardcore Destiny fan, and I'm including myself in that category, none of us liked what Activision made Bungie do. Like, yeah, some of it was Bungie, sure, but like the vast majority, like, come on, it was Activision.
Yeah.
How many games can say they broke away from a major publisher like that and are thriving as much as Bungie and the Destiny 2 game? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking crazy what they did.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. And I honestly cannot think of another game in history that have done what Destiny 2 has done in the same vein.
So, it's funny that you say that.
Okay.
Because the closest competitor to that, and not necessarily in the exact same vein, is the next nomination.
Okay.
Final Fantasy XIV.
Really?
Yes.
Wait, they're not like, up Square Enix's asshole?
No, what I mean is the kind of turnaround, the level of turnaround. That's why I said not exactly in the same vein.
Oh yeah, I do know. Like, when A Realm Reborn came out, it was like amazing.
Yeah, it was the second. It was such a mostly universally loved turnaround, at least at the very least the community. And
yeah,
the most recent expansion, Shadowbringers, is not only like a huge hit, but it's also being regarded as one of the best MMO expansions ever made.
I heard that as well. Like I heard that line. Like it's one of the best MMO expansions ever made.
Yeah, so actually, this is a category. Surprisingly, it's going to be one of those that they do in between breaks, just to say, "Oh, by the way, the winner is this." But I'm curious to see who's going to win. To the point what?
When did Final Fantasy come out?
Like the game itself, the base game.
The base game, yes.
Oof, it's got to be a while ago. I want to say. Whew, that's a tough one. The best way I can put a date to it is it had a PS3 port. Yeah, so it's been around a while. Nothing a quick Google search couldn't find, huh?
Google when that game came out, and then Google when Destiny 2 came out. I think Destiny 2 came out in the fall of 2016 because we're going on year 3.
Okay.
God, 2016.
Realm Reborn. What the fuck? I can't see if it's talking about Realm Reborn. 2010 is when Final Fantasy 14 came out. 2013 is when A Realm Reborn came out. So
wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been out for a while.
6 years.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy, and it's still going.
Yeah, MMOs have that kind of staying power as long as they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that should win.
Maybe. We'll see. I think that they both... it's an interesting category. I'm definitely interested to watch.
Yeah.
But nobody else is, so they're going to yada yada.
I wouldn't be mad if Final Fantasy won over Destiny. I wouldn't... Just knowing that history now.
Yeah. As long as it's not Apex Legends, and as long as it's not Fortnite, which is the next nomination, and as long as it's not Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. What?
I will say this. I think it was cool what Fortnite did with that whole blackout event. Like they took the game offline. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that's a bold maneuver.
Yeah.
But
I don't like that game at all. But just as a gamer at heart, like if
it's a cool event.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that was cool.
I'm not gonna make this say it's a shit event because I don't like Fortnite. That was cool. I was interested when that happened. I'm just not a big fan of it.
Everybody in the gaming community was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Must be nice to have fuck you money to the point where you can shut down a game that's just giving you cash by the hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Siege is on there, but who really cares? Realistically.
Siege has like a really strong following.
Yeah, it does. I'm not gonna dispute that. There's a basis for this content. It's just I'm not even saying it's bad. I enjoy the game. I don't have an interest in it in current year. It's a fine game. I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the patience to get a team together to play it, and
you need like a full team community.
Yeah,
you can't play the game solo.
Yeah, that's one of the cool aspects of it. But I don't have that.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like I have to use LFGs whenever I want a Destiny.
Yeah. All right, so the next couple categories, I'm just going to list what they are. I'm not going to go over them because we both have no interest in, quite honestly, the amount of shit. I'm mainly just going over the categories because of the amount of it is kind of a little egregious and disgusting.
Okay.
All right, number 1, content.
There are a lot of categories. I remember like hearing what they were, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like that's a bit much.
Yeah. First one is Content Creator of the Year. Not even worth looking at because Dan and Anthony of BOON Syndication and the Pregame Network is not on there. Quite frankly, I'm a little insulted.
It's a sham.
Insulted. It's a sham. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't give a shit. Esports Coach, who cares? Esports Event, Evo is really the only one worth talking about, so who cares? Esports Game of the Year, nobody cares. Esports Host, nobody cares. Esports Player, nobody cares. Esports Team, nobody cares. Back to the games. Family Game. Family Game of the Year. First game is Luigi's Mansion 3.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm very interested to get that. The game looks very charming.
Okay.
I would just say...
I'm not a Nintendo guy, as you know, so I have no idea, like...
So, the only thing... Just to kind of put it in perspective, I'm not going to give you a rundown of the game, obviously, but I don't think it should win just because It has a it has like a family component to it, right?
Yeah.
There's a co-op mechanic and there's some multiplayer features. Problem is that from what I hear, if you're playing the game in co-op, there are certain aspects of it where it's like it feels like one player's doing all the work and the other player's kind of just not doing anything. So,
Okay.
good game from what I've seen so far. Very interested to actually pick it up when I have some spare cash, because I'm not even going to wait for a price drop because it's a fucking Nintendo game. So,
You fucking fanboy.
but not really. Not a fanboy.
No.
I'm not a Nintendo fanboy. Are you kidding me?
All right.
You shut your mouth. We'll address that some other time, but I'm not. So Ring Fit Adventure. Have you heard about this game?
No, I've never heard of that game.
So,
Period. Full stop.
So I'm not gonna bore you with the details. It's like a fitness game, right?
Okay.
From what I understand, it's been getting very good feedback. I mean, it's a very niche title, obviously, but I hear it's actually like it's not like Wii Fit, right? Where it's like it's flat out exercises. It's almost like there's like an adventure mode to it. I don't quite see how this applies to a family game. Maybe if they're just looking at like appropriate for all ages, maybe. Once again, looks like it has a lot of charm. If I had space, I'd actually be interested in it. Maybe to slim down just a smidge,
Okay.
But I don't know. Super Mario Maker 2, probably the most obvious winner here, just because that's the one that can actually be played cooperatively as you make the levels. Unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it has cooperative, or at the very least you can share with the family. Everybody plays, everybody's happy. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, good choice, but I don't know. It's more of like a competitive game. I don't know.
I feel like Super Smash, or just I guess just Smash, whatever. That's a weird title because that could be in so many different categories.
Yeah.
Family game, competitive game, fighting game. I guess those are the three that really come to mind. But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a party game also.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird title to just like they can get into so many different categories.
Yeah, and it is in a few. Oh shit. And then so the last nomination, I didn't even realize this came out. Yoshi's Crafted Worlds. Don't have much to say about it. Don't know nothing about it. I do believe it is cooperative. I don't know. In this category, I would say Super Mario Maker is probably the most fit to win. Honestly.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I don't know. Moving on. Fighting game. So we have Dead or Alive 6.
I can't. They're on 6 already. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played a Dead or Alive since 4, the one that had that Spartan as a playable character.
Okay.
I don't know. Fight game. I heard a lot. I mean,
when you say Spartan, do you mean like Master Chief Spartan?
Yeah, like Master Chief Spartan. It had its own custom Spartan that looked exactly like Master Chief, but was not Master Chief.
For licensing purposes.
No, I mean the whole purpose was like the only reason that character was there was because it was exclusive to Microsoft consoles. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay, all right.
There was even a Halo stage. Not much to say on this one. I was never big into Dead or Alive. I heard there were some people that were upset because the boob jiggle physics were different. I don't even. I can't remember. It was a whole censorship fiasco.
Because the boob jiggle physics. Just the fact that you have to say that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, that's what Dead or Alive was known for the longest time, mostly. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed 4.
No, I know. Like, remember, I recently watched a comedy review of the Dead or Alive movie. Oh, that was just rough.
I forgot they even made a movie.
Yeah.
Next up, Jump Force. This game shouldn't be on anything. Quite honest, like this. I mean, I know it was. Actually, it wasn't a slow year. There should be a game that should be in this spot. I'm just going to spoil it right now. It's not nominated for anything. Soul Calibur 6.
Okay.
That game was really good up until they added a guest character I don't really much care for. But why that's not on here, but Jump Force is, kind of fucking stupid. I'll be honest.
I mean, you're the authority on this because I can't speak to the fighting games whatsoever.
All right, but even like you could be, and you're not. You could be fucking brain dead retarded, and you would probably understand that Soul Calibur 6 is of better quality and more of a fighting game than Jump Force.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
For twofold, and I'm gonna digress a little bit here. I'm gonna go off on a tangent. Is first of all, I don't like, and this is something that a lot of
Hold on before you continue. Was Jump Force the game that like I remember there was one E3. I was like what is like? It looked like a live action anime.
Yes, that's Jump Force.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So first things first, those anime games typically follow a format of like arena fighter, with very simplistic. You just mash X, or you mash.
Is it a 3D
triangle.
fighter or 2D?
3D. I think Tenkaichi only.
I never got into the 3D fighters.
Yeah, it's not for me, and the biggest problem is depth. It's literally like, instead of having like 3 or 4 attack buttons, you have like 2, and they do very strict things with no variations, and you hold down one button to do special. I don't know. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm gonna get old Call of Duty syndrome where I kind of just fall asleep. But shouldn't be on here. Shouldn't be on here because of that. It shouldn't be on here because it was rushed and the animations are faulty and there's just a lack of polish overall. It shouldn't be on here. Soul Calibur 6 should be, which it's not. Next up, we have Mortal Kombat 11. I'll be completely honest. I think that NetherRealm...
I feel like Mortal Kombat, like as a franchise right now, it's not. I don't see it as a competitive fighter.
Not only that, but it's also there's some. Listen, facial animations look great, look fantastic. Their cinematic skills have been improving. Character writing, character design, it leaves a lot to be desired. I'm not even going to fault, like, the writing I'm not harping on. It's mainly design because it's a fighting game. Who really cares about the writing? Mm-hmm. But that and their animations, I don't want to be too overly critical. This isn't a review of Mortal Kombat 11, but there is, like, some of the animations are very, like, weak or questionable or, like, just don't have a lot of polish to them. I honestly think that after Injustice 1 came out, NetherRealm has just been kind of declining in quality. I think Mortal Kombat 9 is the last real good game that they made. Okay. Mortal Kombat 11 shouldn't be on here. It's probably going to win because it's the most casual friendly. It's the most marketable of a brand currently of fighting games.
That makes sense. Okay.
I do think Tekken and Street Fighter are currently top dogs right now. But Mortal Kombat is the friendliest of the bunch to market. Aside from the gore, I'm not saying it's marketable to children, but it is the most. It's like the Call of Duty or Madden of fighting games.
Makes sense.
So yeah, moving on. There's Samurai Showdown.
I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah, it's an older franchise. It's been around for a while. SNK makes it. I think that as a fighting game, it's very strong because it's not very, like, a lot of people who aren't into fighting games, they complain about getting comboed a lot or not knowing complicated, strings to learn. Samurai Showdown is very neutral heavy, and what that means, Dan, is that it's more about beating out your opponent's attacks through timing and knowing which. It's almost like a very complicated game of rock paper scissors, and you don't need to worry about combos as much. So it's really just it's a lot more skill based in that regard. Not saying it's the most complicated thing in the world, but it's a breath of fresh air because combo fighters and tag fighters have kind of like reigned supreme for the last couple of years. A lot of juggles and shit like that. So this was a nice breath of fresh air. It's not going to win because SNK is not a very, I don't want to say popular, not a very blowout kind of company, and their games kind of follow suit in that. Last nominee is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I know there's a whole thing in, like, a lot of people argue.
Like Smash is gonna win.
Probably. If it doesn't win something else, this is probably like the whole like gimme thing where it's like if you're a nominee for everything, they just got to give you one at least. This is Smash's
Yeah.
gimme. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah. I just, Smash is, besides the fact that it's mainstream, it's such a presence on the competitive stage.
Yeah, no, that's a big thing. I mean, this should be the game that finally kills Melee competitively. If it doesn't, it's just because people.
Oh yeah, Melee's been like the competitive game forever.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
Not even Brawl.
Melee's kind of overstayed its welcome, and I'm not saying that as in like, oh, it's old, therefore it has to go. I'm saying that, and I hate using this word. It's your favorite word. The meta has stagnated. There's no room for new players
What
to
is
rise.
wrong with the word meta?
To go off on another tangent here before I get back to my point.
Oh boy.
The word meta, I don't have a problem with the theory.
Ooh, I got white phosphorus.
I don't have a problem with people saying like, oh, this is meta or that's meta. I have a problem with people saying that it's like I kill you with a gun in Call of Duty, and I go, wow, this is gonna be the meta, because it's like a meta takes like a long fucking time to figure out. It's not like a spur of the moment thing. Like, people treat it like that though. I'm playing semantics. I don't really want to talk about it because it's another thing that just gives me a headache, and it's just like, I don't know. I just don't like the word. But going back to Melee, the meta has been figured out. The game has been out so long that there's just a nearly insurmountable gap where like a new player couldn't jump in and just all of a sudden fight competitive players that have been playing for a decade. Their muscle memory is just not going to happen.
Yeah.
That and the fact that I would say that Ultimate is the most aggressive, I want to say mechanic heavy, competitive friendly, Smash game since Melee. And just content alone means that like it's not going to get stale.
Okay.
There is one slight thing holding it back from being like the best competitive overall, but that's just something to talk about another day. Yeah, so I don't want to go into a whole shitting on Melee because I love that game. I think it's competitively outstayed its welcome. Also, its community is retarded. I don't know, man. They act like the most elitist people on the planet.
That's like any community though. That's like really passionate about a game, and I'm using air quotes when I say passionate.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you my Mewtwo King story?
I feel like you have. It sounds.
I definitely have. I'm gonna tell it again because it's. I'm gonna tell it again because it's relevant here, and you're gonna hit a point where you go, oh yeah, that happens, right? So me, Tom, Jason from when we worked at Best Buy. You remember Jason, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Tom's friend, Raph, we went to Apex. I forget what year it was. I want to say 2016.
Okay.
Because that's when Jason was there and I was there and we were all still at Best Buy. Okay. So it was 2016,
God,
Apex
it feels
2016.
like it was so long ago.
It does. It does. We go to Apex 2016, fighting game tournament in New Jersey. And it's normally a Smash tournament only, but they were branching out and they were adding other games. I went to play Street Fighter V and Smash 4.
Yeah.
And we get there, I guess, fairly early. We got there before a lot of the competitors got there, and everything wasn't quite set up yet. And I'm talking to Jason about something, and I hear Tom's friend getting excited about something. And lo and behold, Mewtwo King was in the lobby. I don't really care about, like, you know me. I don't.
Player.
Oh, you don't even know who he is.
No. It's probably just been that long.
No, it's fine. He's a big Smash Melee guy, and he was also pretty decent at Smash 4. He's from my understanding he plays all of them competitively, but Melee was the big game, which is what a lot of these people are big in. It's Melee, so yeah. He's kind of a big deal. I don't see it because you know me, I don't get starstruck. I don't really follow players or anything in anything. It's just I care about me. I care about my friends. I care about our goings on, and I care about certain developers working on certain games. That's what I care about. I don't care about players. I don't care about any of that shit.
Just
And
care about the progress and the state of the thing.
yeah,
And
I like
yeah,
paying attention to the industry. I like seeing new games. I don't care about the players.
yeah.
So he's I don't want to say starstruck, but he's interested. Like he wants to. He's like, oh, I really, he's trying to talk to him or whatever. And this guy Mewtwo King, he's just like, has anybody got a
You know
setup?
what? Now that you're saying the name, it's to like ring a bell.
Let me tell the story anyway, because I love telling
Sorry,
this.
sorry.
No. I'm not saying that to shut you off. It's just like I know you're gonna figure out what we're talking about because I've definitely told you before. But like, let me
Yeah.
tell it because I love telling this story. So, he's asking, he's like, oh, does anyone have a setup? I don't think the training setup is there. And Raph goes, we have stuff. We just got here. We're gonna set it up in the hotel room. So, long story short, we get him to come with us to the hotel room. Me and Jason are practicing Street Fighter, which, and I'm not shilling the Surface because I don't work for Microsoft anymore. Ran phenomenally on my Surface Book.
Oh my god.
So we're playing that. They're playing Smash 4. And they're getting progress. And Tom says to me that he wants me to play Mewtwo King and his friend in doubles so that we can warm up because we were playing doubles.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, yeah, let me just wrap up this match with Jason because that's I'm mainly there for Street Fighter 5. And like a couple seconds pass and Mewtwo King goes, if your friend's not gonna hurry up, we should just do something else.
Oh my
And
god.
so I'm just like, okay, whatever. I wrap it up, and I go and I start playing the guy, and it's like once again, I don't really take it all that seriously. I never really found a competitive home in Smash 4 because I couldn't finalize a character, and I don't have the time to put into it. Okay. So I'm fucking around, I go off stage, I do some dumb maneuver. For whatever reason, this professional player, Mewtwo King, he follows me off the stage, fucks up the spike, and then like I gimp him with like a weak recovery option, and it basically makes it so he can't recover. That's what gimping is. Like it fucks up his recovery, he can't recover. And Tom goes, "Oh wow, way to go, Anthony!" And Mewtwo King fucking looks at him and goes, "Why are you saying good job? He didn't do anything." And I'm just like,
He
wow,
got his feelings hurt.
I'm just like, wow, what an attitude on this guy, huh? And fucking, so like, we play a couple matches or whatever, and like eventually, I guess other people that he knew were texting his friend or his handler. I don't know. Fucking, he leaves. I think Raph wanted him to sign something, but of course he didn't sign anything. So it doesn't, or whatever. He wanted to take a picture with him. I don't even remember, honestly. And fucking, he just leaves. So Jason, first of all, Jason's reaction to the whole thing was fucking hysterical. He's just like, so that was Mewtwo Man? Like, he didn't know. He doesn't give a shit about Smash. He cares, like...
That was
like,
Mewtwo Man?
Yeah, that was Mewtwo Man. And fucking... So I'm hysterically laughing at this point. We find out this motherfucker left trash in our room, Dan. He left a half-eaten apple behind the television.
So he hid it.
He hid it behind the television.
Isn't there fucking garbage in the room?
3 feet away, there was a garbage can. 3 feet away. I'm like, what the fuck is this nonsense going on? And that kind of sums up my entire Smash experience in a nutshell.
A hidden half-eaten apple.
Hidden half-eaten apple and a lot of salt over something so stupid and minute that it's not even funny.
That's pretty funny.
So now that you understand my Smash experience, let's move on to the next category.
I do actually remember this story.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on to our next category. Fresh indie game. So this one's presented by Subway. Eat fresh, pay less.
Oh my god.
And it's specific. I gotta get this out of the way because there is an independent category on here, but this one is recognizing a new independent studio that released its first game this year. So it's not.
Okay, I like that category.
Yeah, it's a nice category. I'm actually surprised that a sponsored category is more interesting than half of the other categories that are sponsored, but just by a very different demonic entity known as esports. So, I guess that's the developer for Disco...
I fell off the fucking map.
For Disco Elysium.
That game was apparently incredible.
Yeah, I've heard I mean, honestly,
I've heard very good things.
Yeah, it's been blowing up. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. I know it's a CRPG.
What? That's like top down.
Yeah, exactly, like top down isometric, kind of like old school Fallout, Arcanum, and Diablo, but more RPG heavy.
As good as that game might be, like I would never be able to get into it.
Yeah, because you're stuck in your ways and you'll never change.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
I'm kidding. I'm busting your balls. It was also an Always Sunny reference, so thank you for missing that. Jerk off. Anyway, next up, Nomada Studios for Greece. I still don't know what this is. It looks like to me, and you might know a little bit about it because you mentioned that you heard of it. It looks to me like an artsy-fartsy, like 2D platformer where there's not a lot of gameplay and a lot of walking. You can correct me if you know. Is this true?
No, I don't know.
All right, so not a lot of that information going on. Dead Toast Entertainment for My Friend Pedro.
I heard that game was good.
I heard it was like a fun. Like Joe was interested in it. It looks like it's almost like a twin stick shooter, but it's like a 2D platformer also. Looks like there's. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
That game actually
looks what?
My friend Pedro, like it's on the Switch, I think, right?
It's on a lot of things. It was at the Devolver. All I remember is it was like the only thing worth noting at for 2 years at the Devolver digital panels at the fucking.
I've seen some gameplay. Like it looks like a really fun twin stick shooter. Have you ever heard of the game Mark of the Ninja?
I've heard of it. I can't place a screen to a name though.
It was a twin stick stealth action, the 2D twin stick stealth action game.
Okay.
It was a lot of fun. It was really well done. It's kind of like that.
Okay. So I mean, I'm all for fun. I think that you know, as long as it's fun, who cares if I know what it is or not. Next up, this one I know nothing about, and the image that it has here really doesn't tell me a whole lot. Outer Wilds. Dan, do you know what the fuck this is?
It's like, think of No Man's Sky, but instead of procedurally generated, it's all hand built.
Okay, and is it really just, is it one of those survival kind of games where you find stuff and you build stuff? Like, I don't understand.
I don't know if it's really as good as what they're making it out to be. I know it's like a exploration simulator, exploration space simulator thing.
Okay.
Beyond that, I'm not sure.
All right. Well, I know nothing about it. Can't judge it. Next up, another game I don't know a whole lot about, but this one looks a little bit more. Nope, I still don't know anything about it. Megacrit for Slay the Spire. Okay, that's a name I've definitely heard before. I don't know what it's about though.
Okay, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely. Yeah, I think it might be. If I had to guess, isn't this fun? We're just guessing what the fucking nominees actually are. If I had to guess, procedurally generated roguelike. Maybe Metroidvania mixed in. I don't fucking know. I honestly don't know. Apologies to anyone who's a fan of that game. I just don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. And next one. This one we definitely know. You ready for this one, Dan?
Go ahead.
House for Untitled Goose Game.
Oh. I've never heard of that.
What?
House?
No. Untitled Goose Game is the game. House is the developer.
Yes, I know that game.
God damn it. Okay. You know, you star in it. You should very well fucking know it. Dan's got a long neck and he hunks like a goose. Just that merit alone, it should win. Also, I want to get some Subway like right now.
Well, you're about 20 minutes away, so I cannot.
Serve me up a McGriddle, Daniel. All right.
I wish I could.
Serve me up a McGriddle. And getting back to the status quo, game direction is the next.
Getting back to the status quo
is the next category, and
okay. Death Stranding.
Okay.
Control.
Yep.
Outer
Yes.
Worlds.
Nope. Outer Worlds actually is on here. Never mind.
Should I keep going?
It was the last nominee. Yeah, guess the other two. You're 3 for
Gears
3.
5 on there?
No, Gears 5 isn't. God damn it.
Wait, hold on. Smash.
No, not on there.
God damn it. I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead.
Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, and Resident Evil 2.
Oh, I should have known both of those.
Yeah,
Son of a
so
bitch.
here's the thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like game direction as a title, as a nominee,
Yeah.
it should be more about not just the gameplay itself, but how it differs from its predecessors, and how it differs from the current gaming space.
That would be a good criteria.
Yeah.
But it doesn't exist.
Yeah,
So,
like for example, like if we went by those merits, we would knock Outer Worlds and Sekiro off there immediately because Sekiro is just like a more actiony Souls.
it's
game.
Bloodborne. It's basically Bloodborne in a different setting.
but with more action. There are some gameplay differences.
Are there?
There are. They're few and far between, but they exist. It's almost like
Okay.
Souls meets Nioh, which Nioh was kind of like Souls anyway to begin with, only
Alright.
with a much more unique gameplay. I personally feel. Outer Worlds is basically just a sequel to Fallout New Vegas as far as gameplay is concerned, because that's what people wanted from these developers. So it's
Outer Worlds is Fallout in space, and nobody can tell me differently.
that's fair. That's what they wanted. That's if they say
That's
otherwise,
okay.
yeah.
That's okay. That's what the players want.
Yeah, that's what people
But,
wanted.
Like, that does not deserve a fucking Game of the Year nomination.
No. Control is just a Remedy shooter with some. It's basically Quantum
It's
Break.
Alan Wake with powers.
It's Quantum Break refined.
Yes. Yeah. I meant to say it's Max Payne with powers.
There you go. Alan Wake with powers is a little bit more accurate. So what that really leaves us with is Death Stranding, which I guess you could say it has interesting game
Death
direction.
Stranding and Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, and Resident Evil 2 because it's a remake with much different gameplay and a much different game pacing. And
For what it's worth, I really, really hope Resident Evil wins.
yeah, Resident Evil 2 deserves a lot of credit. It's a great remake. It's a different remake. It's good graphical. It's a great survival horror game. There's so much good about Resident Evil 2.
Yep.
And I think that if it came out later in the year, it would have a lot more of these on lock, you know?
Did that come out in March? When did that come out?
I feel like it came out earlier than that. I think it came out before March. March was Devil May Cry. Maybe late January? What time what did Resident Evil 2 come out? I feel like it was late January. It was after Ace Combat but before Devil May Cry. Resident Evil 2 came out
I think it was later than January, honestly.
January 11th came out.
Really?
Yeah, January 11th.
Huh.
Yeah. It feels later, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. January 25th.
Still, January.
Alright, so we have a few more categories to get through.
Okay.
We just finished game direction, right?
Yes.
Alright. So this is another kind of bullshit category, so I'm just kind of gonna glaze over it because, I don't know. Games for Impact. Anyway, have to cut all that out. Games for Impact is a bullshit category. Moving on to the next one.
Please and thank you, Jesus.
Independent game.
Okay.
This one's straightforward. Like I said, this is why I wanted to differentiate it from the last one. The last one was breakout, kind of like, brand new, new to the scene. This one's just flat out, game, best independent game. First one is Baba Is You. Have you heard about this one?
No.
So I'm not going to go too nuts because it's not your kind of game and not because of the title. It's a puzzle game.
Right.
Basically, the gimmick is there's stuff in the, it's like a top-down puzzle. It's all 2D. Basically, there's a bunch of items you interact with, and there's words. Now, the words, what it is like it'll say, something is something. So, like, that's where the title is, like, Baba Is You. So, like, you can make it so, like, I'm trying to explain this the best I can. Is like, for example, like, there's a key on the map, and somewhere else it says key is open. So that means the key opens doors. But you can move the word open and swap it with something else, and the key will do something different. Kind of get what I'm going at here?
So you're kind of coding your own experience?
In a way, yes. Like, you basically, not only do you need to interact with the items in the right way, but you need to make sure you're changing what the words mean to determine what the items will actually do. And you need to think outside. Like, you could, like, if you need to get to the exit of a level, and, like, it says something is exit, you could move the word Baba into exit, so it says Baba is exit, and you would just win the level. Like, that's the best example I can give.
Okay, no, I understand that. What's the genre of this?
Puzzle.
Okay, but like, how is it presented?
Like as far as like how it looks.
Yeah, like is it top down? Is it like just
It's
like text on screen?
It's crude. It's a crudely animated 2D, like Legend of Zelda 1. You know what that looks like?
Yes.
That's how you interact with the world. You're moving around like that. Each one is its own. Each level is its own separate screen, and you move around in that fashion, and the world is styled in that fashion.
Okay.
Got enough info?
That's weird. Yeah, that's just weird.
It's a unique puzzle game. Next up, we talked about it. Disco Elysium. We briefly touched on that.
Yep.
Not much more to say. Next one up is Katana Zero.
Never heard of that either.
So, and I'm gonna harp on this a bit because I know Joe's a big fan of that, and he'd probably be upset if I just kind of glazed over it. It's a 2D action game where it's all about like dodging and timing your attacks. It's a very high octane, high risk, high reward 2D action platformer.
Okay.
Simple enough.
Yeah, no, I get it. Like
Yeah.
Shrine almost.
Yeah. Outer Wilds. Oh shit. Okay, game direction. Outer Worlds was not in game direction. That was Outer Wilds.
Oh.
God, that was... It doesn't matter. They're both bullshit. I don't give a shit. I don't even know what Outer World... Moving on. Untitled Goose Game is the last one, is in independent game category.
Okay.
That one's a pretty stacked category. I think as long as Outer Wilds didn't win, I'd be like, that's well-deserved. Untitled Goose Game is like the golden child right now. It's definitely a fan favorite. Because it's got that zaniness to it.
It got like really good crowdfunding, and it's just a game about a goose going around terrorizing people.
Yeah, I don't know about the crowdfunding. I don't know if it was crowdfunded or not. But it's a quirky game that garnered a lot of attention.
Yeah.
You know, Katana Zero is a very stylish game. Disco Elysium is a game that in a category that, quite frankly, is not it's just something people don't work on anymore in this day and age. And Baba Is You is a nice little puzzle game. Next up, we're gonna I don't even know if we should do this category. Best mobile game.
Ugh. Ugh.
Call of Duty Mobile's in there. A game called Grindstone. Never seen or heard about it.
I actually personally know like 2 different people that play Call of Duty Mobile and that really enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's not for us. We discussed this in Free Play 6. No, Free Play 5. Yeah.
Like my point being, I'm shocked by how many people, like, even though it's only 2, how many people like really play the game seriously and enjoy it as much as they do.
Yeah, there's a critical acclaim surrounding it. There's some merit to it being on a list like this. Next up, like I said, game called Grindstone. Never heard of it before. Not really interested in doing research into it. Sorry for anybody who likes that. Sayonara Wild Hearts. Never heard about it. I mean, I've heard about it. It's almost. I've heard about it in the same manner that I've heard of Gris or Grease, where it's just a name that gets thrown around. Don't know anything about it. Moving on. Sky Children of the Light. Never heard about it. And What the Golf. Looks like a quirky golf simulator. Maybe not even. Maybe it's. I'm being bamboozled. All right. And that category almost put me to sleep. That was a danger zone.
My eyes are closing right as we speak.
Open your fucking eyes. We're not done here yet. There's still quite a few. Not too many categories left. Multiplayer game. Does that excite you? Or are you awake now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am alert.
Okay, good. Okay. First up, Apex Legends. That's all I have to say about that one. Fuck off. That got me killed. Borderlands 3.
How is that multiplayer?
Is it not? Oh,
I mean,
you
technically yes, but
it's
it's co-op.
cooperative.
Like,
Yeah,
when
I
I
get what you're
hear
saying.
okay,
Multiplayer.
if there's the term multiplayer, be like, oh, you can play with multiple people, hence multiplayer. Like, that's a stretch.
Yeah, then I can't wait until we get to the last nominee. You're gonna have words about that one.
No.
Third, a little close to home, Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Okay.
I feel like we could just stop there.
If
A little bit of bias. Maybe we should bow out of this one respectively.
boy,
Next up, Tetris 99.
winner. Winner.
I do actually. I have played Tetris 99. I have very few complaints about it. It's Tetris. You can't really fuck that up, right?
It is a miracle to me that that game is still as like relevant as it is. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of Tetris titles out there.
Yeah, there are. I gotta say, this is probably my favorite battle royale game. Is Tetris 99. Yeah.
But it's a battle royale game.
The 99 is you playing against 99 other people.
How is that even okay?
So basically, just to give you a rundown on Tetris 99, it's you're playing Tetris, right? And you know how... Have you ever played multiplayer Tetris, just 1v1?
Like maybe a couple times.
So basically, as you score lines, it adds junk blocks to your opponents.
All right.
And as you're playing, you got to manage like who you're attacking and who you're knocking out. But it's you versus 99 other people. That's where the 99 comes in.
Okay.
My only complaint is there are a lot of timed events and not a lot of customization. Like if there were more like themes to unlock and things in the base game, and I know you got to pay for it, it's a free game, whatever, and there's stuff to unlock, but I don't know. I just feel like there's not a lot going on there. Maybe I haven't put enough time into it because once again, it could just be like a battle pass situation where you need to really play a fuck ton. But I don't know. I feel like it's lacking. It's Tetris. It's fun. Moving on. Last one on multiplayer. Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm in disbelief.
That game is still a thing. So you think
I know
it should
it was
win?
good for the hardcore like Division fans. Like, I get that, but that game it's just like it disappeared.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, this is the first time I've heard about it since it came out.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's a weird one. That's a weird one.
That's weird. That's just weird.
Yeah.
Who's picking these?
I don't know, man. This is a weird year. All right, getting a little bit more grounded. Narrative for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Dan, would you like to take a guess at what games are on here before I read off the nominees?
Outer Worlds, one of the two.
Outer Worlds is there.
Okay. Death Stranding, Resident
is
Evil
there.
2.
Resident Evil 2 is not there.
What?
Yeah.
Control
is there. The big three are there. Disco Elysium is also there, and A Plague Tale is also there.
I was gonna say Sekiro.
Sekiro is not very story driven, but it's a given that those first three were gonna be there.
Oh god, the fix is fucking in. Jesus.
Yeah, I hear a lot of good things about Plague Tale, but I know next to nothing about it. I would probably.
I know a little bit about it. Like, that game probably deserves it if I.
From what little you know.
From the little I know.
Okay.
Like, just considering the other nominees, like that. If that game made it to the nomination, it deserves to take.
It probably deserves to, just because it ended up there, compared to. Well, I can't. I don't have a horse in this race, since there's Disco Elysium I'm interested in, but I haven't really played. The Outer Worlds probably shouldn't be on there based on the style that it's going for, and I feel that Control and Death Stranding are
inconsequential.
Yeah.
Put it kindly.
Yeah. Next category. Ongoing game. Awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. This category is honestly, it's identical in both what I feel the category really represents and in nominees to community, the community one that we went over a bit. It's the same games.
Okay.
Apex Legends, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. And I think it really boils down to what we said already.
Yeah.
I mean, both Destiny 2 and Final Fantasy 14 are worth mentioning due to their constant support from the community and the fact that the content keeps going, and they're both on the uprise. Not much more to say.
I don't think that Destiny 2 gets enough credit for breaking free of Activision and thriving as much as it has been. I really don't.
I've heard nothing but good things since the separation of the companies.
Like within if Destiny 2 existed in a vacuum, like there would be a decent amount of criticisms. However, it does not, and therefore those criticisms shouldn't carry as much weight as they do in the Destiny community. Like being a part of that community, like that's how I feel. Just putting that out there.
No, I listen. I'm not the biggest fan of Destiny 2, but I like knowing the story behind it and everything that it's gone through, so to speak, as far as like a development standpoint. I can respect its position in this category.
Yeah.
So this one is it's This one's on here every year, and I will say this is probably the weakest selection that has ever been for this category.
Okay. Nice.
Excuse me. Performance.
Okay.
Like
I am
actor performance.
How did you miss that Claymore?
I'm a ghost. Anyway, so performance. It's going to start off with Ashley Birch. The first thing I think of with Ashley Birch isn't a performance she's been in. She's been in a lot of stuff. It's the fact that Ashley is spelt without an E. I don't know if I don't know if that was a mistake or not. Is that how her name's normally spelled? Do you even know?
I don't know.
All right.
No.
Probably not, because I feel like I've seen this before. Next up, Courtney Hope as Jesse Faden from Control. I'm assuming that's the main character. Behind you. I got him. I'm assuming that's the main character.
Okay.
Next up, our favorite, Laura Bailey as Kate from Gears 5. Yeah, moving on. We have Mads Mikkelsen as Cliff, who's one of the main characters of Death Stranding.
From what I understand, that specific storyline.
Oh my god.
For from Death Stranding is like really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, judge like the game as a whole, as whatever.
But that storyline in
from
particular
what I
is
understand,
decent.
that storyline in particular.
That's like
is
the
like
standout.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Matthew Peretta as Dr. Casper Darling from Control. I know nothing about Control, but what little I see of it, I'm not interested.
Does not deserve to win any kind of story.
Yeah, I don't think it did. I don't know. Like, that game fell off the face of the fucking earth. Like, I don't know, man.
And all of a sudden, it's gonna clean up at the awards. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, I don't like this. And last but not least, Norman Reedus as Sam Porter Bridges in Death Stranding.
Oh, shocker.
I mean, I like Norman Reedus.
I like Norman Reedus too, but like, come on.
Don't forget to watch AMC's Ride. Alright, next up. This category, you don't have a horse in the race, and I'll be honest, the showings are a little lackluster, but we're going to go over it anyway. Role-playing game. Disco Elysium, Final Fantasy XIV, Kingdom Hearts 3, Monster Hunter World Iceborne, and The Outer Worlds. Going back to it, I'm pretty sure this is The Outer Worlds' gimme. Like, when it doesn't win anything, it'll probably win this.
Yeah.
Now, I don't play Final Fantasy XIV currently. I played up to the second expansion, and then I stopped. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I probably, if I had more time on my hands, I would probably end up putting a lot more time into that game. I don't have the time to give to an MMO,
Yeah.
So I mean that's reasonable. Kingdom Hearts 3, it's not as action. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not as RPG oriented as its predecessors, and it was never that big of an RPG to begin with. There's don't get me wrong, there's skills, there's stats, but I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is where it was at its lowest point as far as RPG elements. I don't really think it is one.
I haven't even played it.
It's good. It's not as bad as people make it out to be. It's not the next coming that really needed to be after a decade of wait, but it's good.
Yeah.
Weak world selection, honestly. Moving on. Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Haven't played it. We have it on the shelf. We should probably play it at a certain point. It's on the shelf.
I have it, actually.
I know. I said
I don't have Iceborne. I have Monster Hunter.
No, I know. I said we both have it. We just haven't played it yet.
Right.
It's critical acclaim, though. It started the whole redemption arc, so to speak, of Capcom after a couple questionable releases. I think that it really started with Resident Evil 7, but whatever. Who's counting? The Outer Worlds, like I said, it's the gimme. I don't know. I guess if it's got as good RPG elements as Fallout New Vegas, it's passable in my book. That's it. That's all I gotta say about that one. No, it wasn't a very big year for RPGs. Everything else got a fair shake. RPGs did not this year.
Yeah.
Score and music. So before we do this, Dan, when you play video games, I'm under the impression that you really don't focus too much on the music. Am I wrong in that assumption?
On the game.
But it's not something.
It depends on the game, but no, it's not usually a focus.
So you would say if it doesn't stand out to you, it's not even really in the forefront of your mind, right?
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to kind of see where you were at with that. I like bad music in a game, like one that's like underwhelming. I don't know if it's just, I don't know how long it's been like this for me, but it stands out to me when a game has an underwhelming score. Like and I'm not saying like a flat out bad one, like so bad you notice it. I just mean like one that doesn't do the game justice.
Okay.
Like that sticks out to me. So I just feel like we should lay that out before we talk about the categories.
Oh.
Yeah,
wow.
that guy got some big damage. All right, so the first game on here is kind of cheating right off the bat. Cadence of Hyrule.
Like from Zelda?
Yeah. So you ever hear of Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Sounds.
I don't know. I already don't want to talk about it because it's got that like art style that just screams like indie. Like, look at me, I'm an indie. I don't know. Look at me, I'm an indie. Yeah, it's got some. Cadence of Hyrule is basically just like very low effort techno music remixes. Like, this is a game like I wasn't interested in playing, but I'm like, ooh, I wonder what they're gonna remix. And I listened to the soundtrack. It was kind of underwhelming.
Okay.
Next up, Death Stranding. I have no idea why this game is on this fucking category. Because I've actually heard bits and pieces of the soundtrack. Maybe it plays better in game, but it's not anything really to write home about. I don't know. I don't know why.
From Death Stranding.
It's nothing to write home about. There's nothing more to say about it than that. I have no idea why it's in this category. I feel like they're... Listen, if you can't put Ace Combat in an action game for some reason, this is where you put it. Ace Combat always has good music. 4, 5, 0, even 6. I wasn't a big fan of 6, but even 6 had good music. 7 had some phenomenal music. It had some really good music. It deserves to be in this category. Whether it deserves to win, I don't know, but it would have come out swinging. That's for fucking sure. Fuck whoever picked these games. Anyway, next up, Devil May Cry 5. Now... if we had to go just by overall performance, like if you added everything together to get an average, Devil May Cry 5 would probably win because Devil Trigger is just such a good fucking song. It's I don't know the rest of the songs are all right. It doesn't. I mean, Devil Trigger is just a standout, so I really don't think it deserves to win like score and music because it's kind of like a one trick pony, you know?
Yeah.
Next up, Kingdom Hearts 3. Very good soundtrack. I think that the Kingdom Hearts music has kind of gotten a little too, like, choiry for me since 2, I want to say. But respectable soundtrack.
Again, I haven't even played the, like...
Well, it's the
speaks
same.
better than all.
It's the same composer. So if you know the soundtrack to 1 and 2, it's like that. Only the kind of like it scales to the more epic stuff, and it's just I don't know. It's not as good as it needed to be, but there's some really good standout tracks.
Fair.
Last one, Sayonara Wild Hearts. Once again, know nothing about this fucking game. Can't judge music of a game I've barely just heard about. You know.
Yeah.
And three more categories to go. Next up is sports and racing game, your favorite category.
Oh yeah.
First up, Crash Team Racing, Racing Nitro
Win.
Refueled. Should I even read the other categories? I mean, the other games.
Like Forza and Madden and shit.
Neither of those games are here. Dirt Rally 2.0.
Okay.
eFootball Pro Revolution Soccer 2020. One of the few games that Konami continues to make, since they don't really make games anymore. After that, you have F1 2019, which good for them continuing to make these games. You know, because you would think a series like that would die in like the PS2 era, which is the only game in the series I own is from that era. And after that, we have FIFA 20, which last I heard, didn't that have like a disastrous launch or some shit? Or is that another sports game? Or maybe
I think that was a different sports game.
NBA. No, NBA was the game I think we were referring to.
Oh, okay.
So it's, I guess, Crash. I was never a big Crash racing guy, but I guess, I don't know. Next up, a category near and dear to your heart. Strategy game. Because nothing says
sarcasm amuses me.
Nothing says Daniel like strategy game. God.
Flex the old brain muscle.
Yeah, flex the old brain muscle. That's you, all right. That's not a shot at your intelligence. That's a shot at your critical thinking skills.
Hey, I'm pretty smart, okay?
I just said... Maybe you're not, because I just flat out said I'm not insulting your intelligence. So first, this is going to be weird for me, because I haven't played a lot of these games. Shocker, I know. First one, Age of Wonders Planetfall. Never played this game, never heard about it. I've heard of Age of Wonders before. And just so that you're not confused, Dan, because it's easy to make this mistake, not part of the Age of Empires, Age of Mythology series, not made by the same people. Different people entirely. Then we have Anno 1800, a game I keep hearing about but still know nothing about. It's a Ubisoft thing, I think. Yeah. Don't know much about that. Fire Emblem Three Houses. Should probably win. I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
That'll probably win.
Yeah,
I know that Three Houses is really good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I honestly, I mean, there's a lot of things that Fire Emblem. A lot of old school fans will probably disagree with me, but I feel like Fire Emblem has only gotten better since the GBA games. I want to say.
Wow.
That's
wow.
Yeah,
okay.
they've only gotten better since then, and they started really taking off when Awakening hit. And that already put me on a hit list, or 10. Because I know that hardcore fans are pretty split on whether Awakening saved or killed the series, even though it definitively saved it, because it was going to be the last game in the series, and then it sold enough to fucking save the series. But I digress. Next up, Total War 3... Total War: Three Kingdoms. Total War is a very beloved series. Dan, you may recall this, but I did have a guy, when we worked at Best Buy, came up to me, and his one request was that the laptop that he purchased buy Total War Kingdoms 2 with mods. That's all he wanted. Guy. Yeah, good for that guy. He didn't walk out with a laptop that could do that, but, good for him. Next up, Tropico 6.
Oh god, Tropico.
Yeah, Tropico's... I enjoy the series. I haven't played 6. I've played 3, 4, and 5. I've not played 6 yet. If it's a solid follow-up, I'd say we have a good game on our hands, but once again, I haven't played all of them, so it's not something I consider myself competent in. Kind of end on a wet fart here. Game I have not heard of at all. Wargroove.
Wargroove?
No idea.
Yeah,
No idea. All I can tell you
not a
is that it's
clue.
made by Chucklefish, which I'm pretty sure does Terraria, or bought
Okay.
Terraria. I think I could be very wrong. I just don't care anymore. Remember when we did the pregame lobby and we'd like do heavy research into everything beforehand?
Yeah, those are the
Those
days.
are the days. Like I don't give a shit. Like, why would I waste time on like a lot of these games that don't deserve my attention? Speaking of games that don't deserve my attention, the final category. Way to go, Dan! You're very excited about this one. VR/AR game.
Oh,
Because everybody
God,
loves
why?
virtual reality and alternate reality. It's alternate reality. I'm sorry, augmented reality. These games are just out of this world, Dan. It's crazy.
Reality, oh man.
Oh god, I feel like I'm in an alternate reality. Okay, this is gonna go quick. What a way to end it because I haven't played. We haven't played these games. I've only heard of 3 of these games, and one of them didn't originate in VR. Oh god, is that Chopper Gunner?
Yeah, it's a chopper gunner.
Fuck. All right, first one, Asgard's Wrath. Dan, have you heard anything about this game?
Oh, I actually hit it. I've heard the name.
You know anything about it?
No.
Me neither. Next, Blood and Truth.
Nope, nothing.
It's made by SIE London, so I'm guessing it's a Sony exclusive PlayStation VR. I don't know, never heard of it. This one we've heard about. It's the only game that really interested me. It's like if I had to pick a game that has got me interested in VR, it would be this game. It's Beat Saber.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I like
That's
Beat Saber.
respectable. I didn't know that came out this year.
It came out this year.
I mean, it has to have, right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be on this fucking list. I know VR is like a dead gimmick, but like I figured, putting ancient games on here would be kind of lowbrow. Anyway, next up, No Man's Sky.
Oh man.
No man. Bazinga.
Oh god.
And lastly, Trover Saves the Universe.
Oh hey,
Nice.
look at that. Play the game. Hey.
Aside from aside from the creator, do you know anything about Trover Saves the Universe?
No.
Alright. Well, Beat Saber wins.
Agreed.
Man, it's just to
Dan
kind of
and
come.
Anthony have spoken.
Yeah, Dan Anthony spoken. The only categories we had an input on were Beat Saber wins in VR. So just to kind of go full circle, we'll go right back to Game of the Year, just because it's Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Outer Worlds. Which game would you pick?
For what category again? I'm
Game
sorry,
of the
I'm
Year.
like
Game of the
drifting
Year.
off.
I went full circle. We're right back at the beginning.
Read off the nominees again.
The 3 that are in all the categories: Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, and Smash Ultimate.
I would give it to Resident Evil 2.
Yeah, I'm leaning Resident Evil 2. I want to say Smash Ultimate, but it's like my problem with Smash Ultimate is it needs a replayable single player mode. It needs
For
it.
Smash.
Yeah, like Melee had adventure mode and events. Brawl had the Subspace Emissary and events. Even 4 is where it kind of dropped off, but even 4 had events. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has basically events, but it's also something that you can't really replay unless you keep setting up new games, or if you just randomly do this roulette thing where they constantly give you, spirits to fight. I think that if Smash Ultimate, like if you just ported over Subspace Emissary from Brawl to Smash Ultimate, it would probably like win Game of the Year for me, because my problem with Smash is that it's a platform fighter. It has some of the most fun platforming mechanics ever, and it's in this arena game where you fight. But that's why I loved Adventure Mode Melee. I loved Subspace Emissary. It needs more platforming stages. Like, just give me an adventure mode, and it's definitively the best Smash game ever made. Now it's mostly the best Smash game ever made. But
Just mostly.
yeah, all that being said, Resident Evil 2 would probably be my pick.
Okay.
It was just such a strong showing in presentation, a return to form for the series. As far it's obviously Resident Evil's gone through an identity crisis for quite some time. 7 was good. I liked 7. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like if you were to look at where the series diverged, it was when 4 hit. Because it went from fixed camera to over the shoulder with still tank controls, and then it would later evolve into Resident Evil 6, which was very divisive, and then 7 was kind of just like a first-person game. 2 is kind of a different diverging path for the series, where like 6 went more dodging mechanics, which I love 6. I think the gameplay was fine. I think the reaction was overblown. But I think 2 was, if you were to take it in another direction, you would end up with Resident Evil 2. And I think that just overall strong presentation, strong performance, strong gameplay, survival game in an era where survival games are basically unheard of. Just good overall. So I
just think that like, as far as remakes go, what a bang up job.
Yeah. I still think the best remake ever made is Resident Evil 1, but Resident Evil 2 is fucking close. It's up there.
Well, just taking into account 2019 as 1 year.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, yeah. And the fucking atmospheric influence, I guess. I played a little bit of it. It just...
I know it's scary. I know I showed you that one clip and it scared the shit out of you.
Yeah,
it was like running down that hallway and things were just jumping out at every angle and shit. It was it was a breath of fresh air for me because I was so certain that like when I get my horror fix, I basically need to go back in time. Boy, what a game and what an experience. Very fun. The last thing I want to kind of end on is like I feel like Devil May Cry 5 should have been up for a Game of the Year nomination. I think it got the shaft, and I think Ace Combat 7 should have been somewhere on this fucking list. Should have been considering you're just putting whatever the fuck you want in any category. Put it in action game, put it in action adventure game, put it in score, and put it in fucking put it in content creator of the year. I don't know. Fucking put it somewhere. I don't know. It deserves
content creator of the year.
Yeah. Put it in multiplayer. I don't know. It has multiplayer. I would argue it has more multiplayer than fucking Borderlands 3 does. Fuck, man. I don't know. It deserved to be nominated in more spots, but overall, those
You're probably right.
Yeah, that's kind of the standouts as far as things that got the shaft. I'm honestly surprised. This is probably the weakest year for nominations in general. And I think it's just a sign of like where the industry currently is, or either that or just picked an abysmal one. Let's take a look at the voting jury.
Anthony.
Yeah. You're falling asleep.
I gotta go to sleep,
I know.
man. Yeah, it's so bad.
Yeah, go to bed. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm disappointed in myself, not you.
For what?
I said myself.
Yeah, for what?
I don't know. It just felt like the right thing to say. Finland's involved. Finland. And there we go. That's how we end the video right there. Finland's involved. Game over.
Fires the missiles.